As a digital marketer, you know how to set up GHL. You know how to build websites. You know how to do SEO, and you even know how to run paid advertising campaigns. But the thing that you struggle with the most is getting new clients. It doesn't matter how awesome you are at the actual service. If you aren't getting new clients for your agency, you are going to struggle to make it. See, you are so busy in the fulfillment of your services that you oftentimes forget that you always need to be prospecting. Well, what if you could have a predictable sales system? A system in which you created an endless amount of inbound leads for your agency. One that you didn't have to have these seasons in business, where sometimes you have a ton of new clients that are looking to onboard you, and other seasons where you don't know where your next client is coming from. My name is Adam McChesney, and that's exactly how I grew my digital marketing agency from 0 to 7 figures and beyond. And over the last 6 years, I've sold over 500 digital marketing clients, and I've onboarded as many as 25 new clients in a single month. And in this video, I'm gonna give you the top 5 strategies I've used to sign up new digital marketing clients each and every single month, because I want you to succeed. Now let's go make some money. All right, so now we're gonna get started talking about the top 5 ways in which I've gotten new clients over the last 6 years for my digital marketing agency. And so those top 5 ways, again, the ones that have generated the most new clients have been from my personal Facebook page, from speaking at events, from the Wix.com strategy, which I'm really excited to share that with you and show you the ins and outs of that one. Referral program, so doing referral program both for your existing clients as well as non-clients, being able to tackle it from both ends. And then partnerships. So these partnerships can be with Facebook groups, they can be with complementary services of basically things that your ideal clients also need to buy and utilize, and even competitors. So let's kick off here with the personal Facebook page. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily always like using their personal Facebook page. They say, hey, Adam, I want to hide behind my business Facebook page, or Adam, I don't want to post literally at all. I'd rather not do it. This is the way in which I first started and has generated between 80 to 90% of all of the leads that I've ever gotten. And while it doesn't happen overnight, it usually takes about 90 days of consistency. It's the thing that consistently produces an influx of inbound, highly qualified leads, and I don't have to spend any money on it. It literally just takes my time, energy, and a little bit of resources. So this is the exact strategy that I have used. Now it's expanded a little bit, but consistently used for the last 4 years. So the first thing is posting 2 times a day on Facebook, 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, I post at the exact same time, which is 6:47 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, as well as 5 p.m. Central Standard Time at the end of the workday. The reason being is that my ideal client is a very busy business owner. So I have clients from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, in every area in between. And so at 6:47, they, for the most part, even the ones on the East Coast and some of the people on the West Coast, are getting their morning routines going, and they haven't been bogged down, for the most part yet, with employees, with clients, so they're able to see my content before their day gets started. And the reason why I do it at the end of the day at around 5 p.m. is, again, the day is usually starting to get over. Now, they haven't fully usually gone home, or if they are home, they're not into the whole routine of everything that's going on with their family after work, and they still have an opportunity, at least some of them, to watch my content or see my content. Now, 80 to 90% of that content that I produce each and every single day has really nothing to do with business. The reason is because life isn't just about business. And so there is the whole personal aspect, which I rely heavily on in terms of my content to have gotten me to where I'm at today. And 10 to 20% of my content does talk about business, but it's really about telling a story about my life in business. So I tie in my personal side, who I am as an entrepreneur, even more so than, hey, come buy my stuff, right? And so I try to provide value and educate as much as I possibly can. I also do one reel per day at minimum. I do one live per week, which is basically me going live on Facebook, or sometimes I'll use StreamYard to go live on multiple platforms. But to, again, educate and provide value. I don't do this as much anymore because I'm usually always capped out with friends. But in the first 2 years of business, going full time, I was adding 5 new friends each and every single day. These friends are ideal clients, or they would be ideal clients. And so by adding these new friends, you're again growing your existing base of potential clients, followers, supporters, what have you. And I'm always liking, commenting, and supporting those new friends, as well as any other ideal clients that are already friends of mine on Facebook. I'm also very, very active in Facebook groups where my ideal clients hang out. So again, these 5 strategies as a whole take up over 90% of all inbound leads to my business. This accounts for 80 to 90% of that 90%. So if there's only one thing you do, although I recommend you do all of these things, this would be that aspect. So let's move on to the tip number 2, which is speaking at events. I absolutely hated the thought of going up in front of potential ideal clients or existing clients and speaking at events on subject matter expertise type points like digital marketing. And back in 2022, I spoke on my first stage in person talking about digital marketing, and I realized it's not as scary as ultimately I was telling myself. And it unlocked so many doors to not just grow our business, but to grow my authority as a subject matter expert in digital marketing and personal branding. When I'm looking to speak at events, I'm looking to speak at events if I'm niched down, offering digital marketing to a industry, roofing, HVAC, plumbing, etc. I'm looking to speak at events in those niches, right? Also local events, right? So before I go and I speak on a massive stage, I've spoke on stages and shared stages with Kevin Harrington, Jesse Itzler, John Maxwell, some other really, really big names. I didn't just go from here to there. I spoke at a ton of local events, networking events, free events. Obviously, I've now been paid to speak, but again, it didn't start there. The best combination, if I'm looking to grow my agency and grow my business as well as speak at an event, is sponsoring. A lot of these sponsorship opportunities at some of these events have the ability for you to sponsor and get a table as well as speak. And so in that, I'm able to speak on stage, ideally at the beginning of the conference, and then over the next couple of days, I can drive people back to my vendor booth and then build a relationship with them and obviously sell them my services either there or after the conference. Virtual events are also great, albeit not usually the same amount of return on investment or the same amount of inbound lead flow, but still very, very valuable. Regardless of whether it's in person or it's virtual, don't actively just go and sell. Provide value, showcase your SME, which is subject matter expertise. Always have an offer, even if it's free. I just spoke at a Gutter Summit conference, and I gave away a free course on personal branding, how to essentially grow your business without having to spend a bunch of money on paid advertising and things like that. I had 17 of 35 people download that free course. If I tried to say, hey, buy this, or overcomplicate the process and not offer value, I would have struggled to get 17 out of 35, half the room, to go and do that. Leverage the content. So by taking pictures of being at the event, videos of you speaking to get more clients. Hey, I spoke at this event, spoke on X, Y, and Z, and also use that content to go get more speaking opportunities. There is very few things that in an immediacy has generated me the amount of lead opportunity and revenue, signed contracts, then number 2 here, speaking at events, because there's so many like-minded ideal client individuals that are here at the same time. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3, which is the Wix.com strategy. So this is something that is so simple and easy, and I don't know how it took me almost like 2 years to really figure this out. But I was starting to realize, like, hey, I see these websites. So for example, if you're not super familiar with Wix, Wix is a fine starter platform. The problem is it's more of a brochure than a lead generator. And so people that are on Wix right now likely are not where they want to be from a company lead generation standpoint. And it's not that a lot of people think, oh, they're using Wix, they don't have money to invest. I've talked with a lot of business owners who just have no idea. And so sometimes these people are often left to the side because people think, oh my gosh, they're on Wix, they don't have money. Go over to Google and type in roofing company, Wix.com. And so you'll obviously see paid ads. You'll see Wix talk about some templates and things that they have, right? But you'll also start to see, for example, like a wixsite.com URL, which again, they need to change that obviously sooner rather than later. I'm just doing this live, but you'll see a variety of other things like Wix roofing. You'll see, I promise if you do this strategy enough, you'll see plenty of stuff. Here's another one. Here's another one. So now, right, you literally have a company that has wixsite.com in their URL. They need a new website. They need a new URL. You have Wix roofing, right? Which, pretty decent site, albeit. But you have Ajax roofing, built with Wix.com. And I share this because there's no shortage of opportunities that are out there. Again, specifically with Wix, you can have a list of leads that are likely not where they want to be as a company. And so go to that website, submit a contact form, send an email, send a Facebook message, write a letter and mail it, find out who the business owner is, add them on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., and reach out to them and even call the business, right? I know a lot of people just want their business to grow without any work at all. It's absolutely crazy. But if you go and you actually pick up the phone and do that, you are going to get some opportunities. So rinse and repeat this in other industries or with other website builders until you start to get some momentum. So that's strategy number 3. A little bit more in depth in terms of the amount of time and energy investment, but you can also have a VA do this, right? But it also does pay off. Now, moving on to step number 4, which is referral programs. Everyone loves a good referral program. And where I see a lot of digital marketers go wrong with this is they will create a referral program for existing clients, or they will create a referral program that is not lucrative. They'll send out an Amazon gift card. They'll send out, $200 or $300 one time. Well, nobody's going to get super excited about that. You could literally set this up to where you have your biggest supporters turn into sales reps, essentially, who make you a ton of money and you make them a ton of money in the process. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't afford doing this. We also can't afford not to do this. And if you didn't have that client that somebody just sent you or is thinking about sending you, then it doesn't really matter. It's not like you're paying these people and their overhead. You're paying them based on the performance of you getting that new client. Don't be lame like everybody else and try to shortcut. I've seen people do it and it does not work. Now, what I typically recommend, this is going to vary depending upon like what you're charging, what you're selling, etc., but $500 for like a one-time project, if you're selling a $5,000 website or something like that, is totally doable. Again, $500 one-time project. Now, this is where a lot of people will get excited. And you need people to stay excited because there's so many agencies that are out there that are willing to do something like this. Paying 10 to 15% recurring revenue on ongoing services. Let's just say you're charging $1,000 a month. You're paying somebody anywhere from 10 to 15%, which is $100 to $150 a month. Well, they send you 10 clients over the next year. They're literally getting a check for over $1,000, literally not doing a whole lot. It's mailbox money for them. They are going to want to send you even more people, right? And so you need to make sure you're talking about it on social media, at networking events, and with clients consistently, because your existing clients should be one of the biggest levers for new lead flow into your business. And as I mentioned before, turn these supporters of yours into actual sales reps. So I've made a lot of money and paid people a lot of money to be part of a referral program in the past. Now, step number 5, going to this last step, which I think does tie everything together, is a little bit of culmination of a lot of this stuff, is partnerships. I've made significant amount of money now, albeit not overnight with this, but it does kind of happen in a influx. And some of this stuff I get done for free. Some of the stuff I have to pay for these partnerships. But being a preferred vendor or preferred partner inside of Facebook groups with my ideal clients, if I see somebody that has complementary services, maybe it's HR, maybe it's payment processing, maybe it's business coaching, doesn't really matter. I will then create referral partnerships or partnerships in general. Hey, let me be the guy or the gal for digital marketing for your clients or your sphere of influence. And I will, be able to do something very similar for you as well. I've even created these with competitors back and forth. So like, hey, I'm not going to be the best fit for everybody. Didn't know that until very, very, recently, right? I used to think I can help anybody and everybody, but I used to try to. Doesn't always work that way. No differently than other people aren't the greatest fit for everybody. So like, find good people that are your competitors and say, hey, if I have an overflow, I can't take on this project, or they may be better suited for you versus me. Let's send business back and forth and let's compensate each other for that. And then industry associations who offer preferred vendor programs are great. Maybe it's suppliers, maybe it's technology, maybe again, it's the association of roofing or whatever it is. This is a great opportunity to get instant exposure, have other people essentially raise you up as authoritative subject matter experts so you get more business. And in the process, you make more money, but you make your clients and some of these other people more money. Sometimes there is a upfront fee to get on these partnerships and to get verified. Sometimes there's an upfront fee plus recurring. Sometimes there's no fee at all. It kind of just depends. And so you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. But these are the 5 strategies that have made me millions and millions of dollars selling digital marketing. And it's not as complicated as you saw here right now, as so many people make it out to be.